What's up, chat? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Hopefully everybody's doing well this evening. We got a cast. We're back. We're back to casting. Albion Giants League's back. We're through relegations. The season has started. Albion Giants Season 12 out here. Really, ready to get some casts in. Going to be casting a few different teams, I think kind of regularly throughout this season. So stop by, once a week. Come check us out, and we'll see how it's going. Depending on my schedule, I'm going to get these games casted. You carried Kenny both games. I believe it. By the way, what's up, Kick Rocks, Big Cat, and Kenny? Hope y'all are doing well this evening. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Sometimes you have to carry Kenny. It's just the way of the road. Sometimes he will steal your arrow stacks. And you just have to live with that in ADC and figure it out. So it's just a time. But it's me. It's that Blaze McBain guy. We've had a really strange day. I was supposed to take one of the kiddos to a birthday party. Got canceled because of rain. So we got breakfast this morning. Then I took the kids to get haircuts. And I got home and ran a 5K in the rain because I'm crazy, even though I felt exhausted this morning. And then ordered some Chinese food. So, we've been having a kind of vibing day. Because you're a filthy arrow player. Imagine not wanting your carry to get more gold. That's crazy. But hopefully everybody else is doing well. I got a fun day tomorrow too. Stop, get some help. But no, I've been kind of chilling. Had a good run today. Ran my 5K under 26 minutes, even though I wasn't even winded. I was usually I'm feeling a little bit, but not today. I felt really good. Which makes me feel that I could get down to 24 really easily if I tried, but I just don't feel like it. So that's where I'm at. We're gonna hop into game number 1 here in just a second of Dire Dragons versus Buff Pass. If you guys have questions, suggestions, always make sure to feel free and ask. If you're not following the channel, go and drop a follow. That'd be super sick. You can check us out over on TikTok and YouTube as well. This will be on YouTube afterwards. Probably get it uploaded tomorrow or on Monday. And then check out the podcast. Go check out the link tree for all the social media stuff over there if you'd like to go check it out. But let's hop into game number 1 of Dire Dragons versus Buff Pass. I was about to get real upset, chat, because I was like, I definitely checked these beforehand. Make sure everything gets right here. Get the audio up a little bit. Give us some music, baby. Yeah. Wait, I can just hop into the match. Is there no picks and bans here? Oh no, what is this? Did you guys remake a lobby, game 1? Don't watch me feed, don't worry, I got you. Or was there spectator delay on? Who knows, really? Freya banned out here. Kind of surprised to see the Freya ban. I don't think Freya's particularly... Freya can be good. I don't think Freya's insane right now, though. What's up, 70? I don't know why it was being weird with the countdown there. Usually it's a little bit better about not being delayed, but for some reason it wanted to be. But yeah, I see a Freya band and then an Ao Kuang band out here. Not wanting to have to deal with the executes. That god can kind of go burr. So, not surprised there. Pele gets banned out here. Has a pretty good flex potential. Picked in jungle and solo right now. The god just does a lot of damage. Has really good dive. And, nice CC. Nice knock up to set up for your team. Get it out of here. Not surprised by that ban. And we're still not seeing any of the solos banned away here. Curious to see if Chernenbog, Apollo are let through. Do we get rid of the Ama? That's some questions we have to kind of ask ourselves here. Ama went 9-1 in the SPL last weekend, but we are going to see the Chernenbog ban. And Cherno, really good right now. They changed a lot of his kit around, adding the slow to the 1. Just does good damage, able to get around the map very quickly and play pretty aggressive. Also can just jump into a wall and avoid some damage and CC and then go out of it. So not a bad ban here. See the Athena banned away as well. And Athena has been played in so many roles: jungle, solo, mid, support. You could probably play her in carry, but not surprised to see this banned away here. The ult change alone of making her ult speed up whoever it goes on to is pretty impactful. Obviously, there's some other minor changes to her kit involving slows and that shenanigans, but I think it's a good ban. But the last ban here is going to be the Yorm ban, and that's not one we typically see here. Usually we see like the SWK. I would even say maybe an Amma ban here would be really, really good, with Amma being pretty much the top of the echelon of solo laners, but it's going to be the Yorm band away. And it's going to go into locking in a Charon here. Not a guy we've got to see a lot of comp experience on, just because it became available about 3 weeks ago. And with this being the first week of the AGL season, gives us the first opportunities to see Charon picked up here. And we'll have to see how this ends up being played out. On the other side here for Buff Pass, they lock in the Arachne, which is an insane pick right now, and then locking in the Ares as well. Ares, a very dominant support right now. The changes to Arachne just allowing her to CC more often and more quickly, and just kind of buffing her kit in general is something to watch out for here. But this does leave the Raijin and SWK pickups for Dire Dragons here. Raijin getting that cooldown change on his kit is pretty amazing. Let's see how that pans out here. SWK pretty much been the top of the solo lane meta for about the past month and a half now. Finally dethroned a little bit after some recent nerfs. We'll have to see how that ends up planning out here against the King Arthur. And King Arthur got buffed in the last major patch. We'll have to see how this goes. Getting some standard buffs, making him more viable in the solo lane, which is something I love to see. I like seeing King Arthur at least be around, at least being viable pick. As far as the bans here, we're going to see Apollo banned away, getting rid of that global hunter pressure along with the Cherno from earlier. And then you have the Kali, one of them feast or famine junglers you just really don't want to have to deal with the kill resets. And then on the other side for Dire Dragons, they're going to go ahead and ban away the Merlin and a Morgan Le Fay, just saying, hey, let's get these mid laners out of the way that can kind of play into Raijin. And they'll do just that. This leaves Buff Pass with some interesting time to think about what they want to pick up here, whether it's going to be in the mid lane or their carry here. I imagine the Raijin. Go ahead and pick the mid laner here, I think. Let your dual lane member get the full counter pick. We'll have to see if that's what they decide to do here. Agni's still on the table. Kind of the pick that you normally see locked in as the just really meta standard mage, where he gets to just kind of hang around all the time. For a long time, he was just the pinnacle of balance. I think he's a little bit above, being right in the middle. I think he's a good pick. Does he play well in the Raijin? I wouldn't be surprised to see something more artillery based here, but we'll just kind of have to see. I mean, we do have the Ares, we do have the Arachne. It does open up a lot of potential here in the mid lane, but it's going to be the Agni that I called out for, so we love that. We love it when the caster is right. Don't get to see it often, but today is the day. Do get to see the Agni pick up here. This goes back over to Dire Dragons now. They're looking at this, and if I'm Dire Dragons, I'm looking at the opposing team's comp, and I said, man, what plays really well with Ares? And I'm thinking Artemis, and I think I take that away here. Not sure if that's going to be the pickup here, but if I had to take away a hunter, I think that's who it's going to be. For the jungle, they do lock in this Thanatos, obviously a feast or famine god in the jungle, but does provide the execute. If someone gets low health, you dive in on top of them, take them out, and it's going to be the Ishtar pickup here, which is also a good pick. You get those shining swords thrown out, pull them back in, and then boom, get CC'd all the targets that were hit by both the there and back. Could play well into this area, does give you that CC immunity. And also just has really good lane clear. And with gooseberries, this god does kind of go crazy. But this leaves the last pick here for Buff Pass up for grabs. What do they want to do? And they say, hey, we see a Raijin, we see a Thanatos, and we see a Charon. How about I play a Charybdis to avoid that damage? And kind of surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they would have locked in the Artemis there. I just think it goes kind of crazy when you have the Beams Burn of Ares. But let's see how this Charybdis goes. I'm a Charybdis fan, unlike most ADCs. So let's see how this pans out heading into game number 1 of week 1 for Dire Dragons and Buff Pass. All right, chat. We are a little bit out of form. I have not casted in a hot minute now that I think about it. I think it's been about a month. And kind of excited to get a little cast in, even though it's a solo cast. Should be a good time here. But we're going to take a look at how the builds are going to go this time around. I do think that is something to pay attention to. We've seen some build diversity kind of pop up in the duo lane between crit and going just to pin, which doesn't really kind of fell off really with the last meta. So we'll kind of have to see how this pans out here. I'm expected to see some fun times. But other than that, curious to see how the support picks go against each other here. And also we have Feast or Famine junglers on either side, so that always makes for a good time here. We'll see if anybody picks up anything interesting, but we'll go ahead and speed it up a smidge to get closer to the start of the game. That way we don't have to wait the full 2 minutes here. And a pause! What is this? Alright, chat. Does someone not cook? That's the question. If someone's not cooking, I'm gonna call them out. I'm just throwing it out there. That's food for thought. If you're getting your games cast by me and one of your team or teammates decides not to cook, I'm gonna let you know. We are gonna see some party punch built here by the mid laner and junglers for both teams, but the mid laner of Bup Path is going party punch on the Agni here. Let the man cook. Ares going to pick up that sturdy stew, goes well with everything in that kit. Bountiful Bow, gooseberries for everybody else. Makes sense. Both of those are pretty much the top pick recipes right now. Other than that, pretty standard builds across the board. We are going to see a war flag here for Kenny, and on the other side we're going to see the Sentinels for Ruthless on the Ares, so that kind of goes a long way here. And we see a Conduit Gym and the Sands of Time change for the mid laners. But speaking of the mid laners, see if anything interesting is happening in mid. Blawman throws a scythe, it misses, but now Marlin's dash is in here. This should be a first blood, and the beads off of Marlin's Big Cat with the first blood before 1 minute into the game for the Dire Dragons. Has to feel good going onto your mid laner that early. Kenny getting pressured out here a little bit by Ruthless. Kick Rocks looking to do just that and tell them to say Kick Rocks. Oh my god, Big Cat 2-0. 1 minute into the game. Actually insane here. They are just going to feed this Raijin early, and if you all have not seen how Raijin plays with this new setup on cooldown, it is going to be a wild time, and this is going to be a lane to watch because now this is a massive lead for Big Cat. Obviously, the back hasn't happened yet, but this power spike is going to be kind of crazy early on. You want the Harpies, you're going to have to stay for him, and now Marlins is in trouble, not just for the first time. There's a second time. Blawman looking to see if they can make a rotation in, but no, nothing as of yet. Doesn't have that blink online, so can't take the dive for it, but Marlin's saying, hey, I'm not going to back. I'm going to stay here in the mid lane, and this could be catastrophic. There's the dive in. No, they don't hit the scythe for the silence. Now on the left side of the map, you see Manoa heading over here on the Arachne, but Kane's in trouble. They don't have the help, and now into the maw they go. There goes the Cryptus. The safety of that god always just goes really hard here. Ruthless sticking around, trying to bait them for Manoa. Manoa gets a great use of the spiders there. Nice silence by Kenny. Better beads there by Kick Rocks, and now we get to play it back a little bit. There's the gank, nothing for it besides a waste of time for Buff Pass, and they're almost 1,000 gold behind at this point. Ruthless not wanting to back, and neither is the duo lane of Dire Dragons. Canes has healed up now after that initial scare. Now Kick Rocks is in trouble. Kick Rocks falls down to Ruthless, and Canes stepped up just a smidgen too far. And that could be a little bit problematic. Now Kenny wanting to keep these minions off the tower, but at some point you have to look at your health pool and say, is it worth it? Both the dual lane members of Buff Pass about to be level 4. Ruthless just a little bit behind here, but should be coming through in just a second. Shout outs to Big Cat for the sub there. It is September. If you want to drop a sub in the chat, that's pretty sick, but thank you so much. Welcome to the Koi Pond. Let's do this thing. And now, heading back over the mid lane. Actually, over in solo, nothing too crazy happening as of right now. No back for 7 yet. and really just getting a farm up here on this Wukong. Back should be coming through soon. We see a tier 2 Glad Shield for Xyorge, and we'll have to see how that goes now. But Big Cat looking for this back here. It's going to be a big one. No pun intended. I mean, this getting that double kill early is going to feel good. Agni trying to throw bombs over the wall to steal a red buff that's not there. But look at that. It is a full book for Big Cat. Now Ruthless has stepped up. The chains are gone. They have to get this kill. Kick Rocks looking for the dive. Can it be found? They look for Kenny. Canes isn't able to confirm the kill. And now Ruthless trying to play hide and go seek. And look what's gonna happen here. Here comes the death from above. Crashing down is Blawman. Ruthless falls. There goes the size slightly off the map. That's okay. Kick Rock stepping up. They do have to be worried. Canes is level 5. Kenny firing the wave across the map. Will it connect is the question. It's heading over to the mid lane. There's no one there. Cat getting a little bit of damage there, but nothing crazy. And that wave will go across the map and it will hit absolutely no one. But the thought was there. A 2-level lead right now on this Raijin is kind of insane, but if you're gonna play the drums, you gotta hit more than one of them, or do you? Now, Big Cat confirms the 3rd kill of the game for himself. 5 minutes in, 3-0 for the mid laner of Dire Dragons is just kind of insane. Now, back over in the duo lane. They are diving Kick Rocks here. Oh my god, the miscommunication by Buff Pass. They both fail. Ruthless dies to the tower. Canes is now stuck on minions. It's gonna be another kill. Is it gonna go to Cat or to Blawman's the question? And Cat comes over and gets another one. You gotta be freaking kidding me, man. You just dropped the ball there. You do the no escape, and you're the one that doesn't escape on the Ares. And not only that, you set up your ADC to not escape as well. Both fall in the duo lane. There it goes, crashing down. Marlins has to beads. Kenny eating the damage of the tower there for his jungler. Feels pretty good. But now it's a fight over in the mid lane. The rotations are there. Great dash to avoid the bomb damage. Manoa is here. Ruthless is here as well. They're going to look for Cat here. They want that shutdown gold. Are they going to be able to find it is the question. There's the blink in by the Arachne. Can Kenny get his teammates out? But Blawman steps up. There's the beats from Blawman. Throwing out some damage. Is it enough right now? There is the Arachne up in ult. Looking for a way in. Decides to be the better idea of it and use it defensively to get out. And now nothing is going to come of that exchange. Both teams walk away, get some buffs, and I expect some backs to come out. That Jotun's already online here for the Thanatos. Soul Eater almost fully stacked for the Sung Wukong right now. Really just feeling kind of good here. Unless you're Kenny with Prophetic Cloak, but you feel good that you have 4 stacks on it instead of 2. So you're 2 ahead of Ruthless, but you know, you want more stacks than that. You want a little more, you know, just saying. Fortunately, we can't deviate. Are those stacks just magical and physical? I'm imagining they're probably mostly magical. He might have 1 physical on the Arachne right now. Marlins over here stepping up, and there's the wave, the taunt in by Kenny, the no escape channel through, and they're gonna take advantage of this. Cat misses 1, hits the 2nd, the 3rd, might have missed the 4th, but it doesn't matter because Blawman steps up, gets the double kill, and puts down the support in mid laner of Buff Pass. This Raijin and Thanatos combo going crazy right now, and a great initiation there by Kenny Alpha on the Charon. Now 0-0-3, picking up 1 extra stack there and feeling pretty good about it. Now Manoa looking for these camps, is gonna find one of them, but I think Blawman got the other. These level deficits are getting out of control. You have a 2-level lead for Dire Dragons in the jungle, the mid, a level lead for support. You're even in solo and duo, but now Manoa has to ult out defensively again, but they're gonna pick up Blawman. They dive in looking to try to go on to Cat, but now Kenny is the one just oaring his way through, getting a nice little route there. It's not going to be enough to allow Cat to catch up to Manoa, but oh my god, can Marlins fall again is the question. 1-3 on the Agni, might be 1-4 soon enough if he decides to step up again, and he's hovering, he steps up, the dash is good, Big Cat's looking for the damage, but again, Marlins is going to get away just by a smidge here. Oh my god. I think he had 10 health. I mean, it was a dumb amount of health there. I couldn't click on him fast enough. But oh my goodness, not feeling good about the exchange here. Kane's deciding to push for a tower early on here rather than push for camps and farm. A little bit strange here out of the duo lane. For ADC, definitely want to push up or push for farm instead, because this is why Blawman's going to rotate over and Kane's is going to die here. There's just no way out of this. It wouldn't even have mattered if a Beads was used or an Aegis, would have died pretty much effectively. Big Cat going to take the first spill of the game for himself there. Now 4-1 and 2. That shutdown goes over to Buff Pass. Going to feel pretty good, but not going to be too catastrophic. For right now. This Agni has decided to go tablet. We will keep an eye on that. We're at 10 stacks at 9 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, and that is something we will keep an eye on throughout the game. Keep an eye on the fact that Manoa is on the back camps of Dire Dragons, looking to get that farm going, still behind. Blawman rotating in, looking for Marlins. There's the Scythe for the silence. Eats away half the health of Marlins. Marlins decides, hey, I want to use these bombs. Ruthless looking for a way to peel for the Agni, but I don't know that their way is. A Scythe off the mark from Blawman. Blawman still chasing it down. Meanwhile, behind, they're looking to try to find a way to go on Manoa, and Manoa is going to come back in and use that ult defensive. But Kenny hits a 3-man ult, and Blawman able to capitalize on it. Manoa falls down. Kane's ult in, hits Kick Rocks, but is it gonna matter? Absolutely not, as Kane's will fall. Here comes the no escape. Ruthless pulling in 3, gets the kill onto 1. Ruthless doing exactly what the name entails, being ruthless with that ultimate, able to pick up a kill here. Marlins fighting against Blawman, and Marlins will get the better end of that treatment. Marlins with the double kill there, finally in the positive KDA markers, and that is going to feel good here for the Agni of Buff Pass. Looking at both these teams right now, I mean, we see the Charon's coin. I like that for that percent pin. Is going to feel really, really good on this Raijin. Already see the Hydras online here for the Thanatos. Wanting to get those ability and then autos in. Has to feel good here. We haven't got to check out much of what's going on in the solo. Now that we have a little bit of downtime, we'll go check out, see how they're doing over here. Just a smidge of a level deficit, 4-7, but nothing to write home about. Almost the same here. The thing that's kind of on the docket here to talk about is the fact that Canes is going for a fail knot this early into the game. Going ahead and saying, hey, I'm gonna go crit if you need to build that Spectro. Blawman coming over to gank this King Arthur. George could be in a little bit of trouble. Ults to get away. He's only gonna eat a smidge of damage, which has to feel pretty good at this point. Ruthless stepping up on the Ares here. And now Kenny looking and getting a great silence off there just to be a little bit of a pain in the side. And now the no escape comes through. Kenny ults, hits onto Ruthless. Blawman, death from above onto Marlins. Marlins takes a spill. And now Ruthless is going to fall as well just in time for the beacon to spawn. And Dire Dragons are going to be up 4v2 over here, as 7 doesn't even have to make the rotation now if he doesn't want to. In fact, neither does Kick Rocks. Kick Rocks can choose whether or not to show up here, but really they should be calling for a Gold Fury at this point. A free Gold Fury, if they decide to take it, they will decide they do not want it. They will instead head to the lanes and to camps and get some farm instead. A little surprised there they don't want that little bit of an extra gold lead. Maybe they're worried about Arachne or Kane's showing up. Manoa could have done something there, but I don't. I mean, you're going to full commit for a Gold Fury steal. If they steal it, you definitely punish them there. So, things to watch out for here. Fail Not now online for Canes. Exy online for Kick Rocks. But Kenny already has a Shogun's going with this War Flags. That auto attack speed is going to feel good, not just on his carries, but on the Charon as well. But now over in the dual lane, Manoa trying to get active here. Kick Rocks, takes the beads, fires away the swords. Is it going to be enough? No, Kick Rocks will take a spill in the 1v2. Back over in the mid lane, Big Cat and Kenny are still fighting it out here, as Asmore donates a sub to the, or subs back to the channel for 16 straight months. Thank you, Asmore. We do appreciate that. Marlins takes another fall. It's a 3v2 in the mid lane. Manoa has to ult out defensively yet again, and Ruthless will fall to Blawman. The Thanatos now 8-2-5. The Raijin 6-2-3. And the Dire Dragons are putting on an arena game in the mid lane as Blawman picks up the triple kill, and they get a mid tower. 21 stacks now on the tablet of destinies for Marlins here. Slowly but surely stacking away at that item. We do see the Stone of Binding here for X-George. It's going to be filled pretty good here. We are working on some earrings on this Wukong. Not something we've seen too often here. Might see some Manticore spikes in the near future. Keep an eye on that. That's going to feel pretty good here. But Buff Pass, no. This Gold Fury is not being looked at. Kick Rocks is backing. They actually have no idea that this Gold Fury is happening. And Buff Pass are going to get a free Gold Fury here. It's going to take them a long time to burn this down, though. 4 members there. Ruthless loses half his health. I mean, if one member of Dire Dragons shows up, they probably get some fairly good damage off there. I do want to keep an eye on Canes, though. Now has this Fail Not built. How is that going to feel? You have Aussie of Fail Not. I mean, you're not looking at really any pin here right now. No pin, a smidge of attack speed. I mean, I don't know how well this is going to feel. We're going to have to keep an eye on the Charybdis, see how that goes. Now Marlin's going to be in trouble again. The wave comes crashing down. Blawman somehow out-confirms Kenny for the kill. I really thought the Charon kill was coming through there. They decide to let Manoa go. And now they're just going to invade these back camps for free. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rotation going right here towards this solo lane. Ruthless is stepping up. Death from above being channeled. Crashes down onto the King Arthur. King Arthur's dead. No escape by Ruthless here onto Kenny and Big Cat. Big Cat says, no, I'm going to ult and avoid that pull in and, you know, push out some damage. But you have 4 members of Dire Dragons on the right side of the map here. You could look for a tier 2 tower and right. I mean, I think you get the tier 1. Tier 2 is available. You have part of a wave. I'm kind of surprised they don't go for it. Seems like maybe there's some communication differences going on here with the way the pathing's going. Marlins dashes down. Marlins is going to be dead. Yeah, goodbye. The Agni dies again. Kick Rocks, turns around a 1v2, picks up the kill onto Manoa, now having to fight Canes. 1 level down. How's it going to go? Canes hits the ult, but a fantastic Aegis here by Kick Rocks, buying the time to outlive the Charybdis. And Canes gets crashed down on the beads are out. Into the Maw. Canes goes and into the Maw. They will fall. The gray screen is where they're going to be visiting. A great play there by Kick Rocks to pick up a kill and get out, and then bait the enemy carry into dying as well. In fact, Buff Pass has lost every single one of their buffs besides the left side speed. Absolutely insane here. We have to keep an eye. Blawman now 13-2-5 on this Thanatos. The second beacon is fixing to spawn. What was a close game less than 4 minutes ago has now spread to a 5,000 gold difference, and it has to be feeling pretty good here. Already have the Blood Forge online for Blawman. Manicore spikes are now long here for 7 Soul on this Wukong, building what I'm assuming is going to be a Pridwin that X-George already has online. Other than that, pretty standard build here for the carry. Kenny, I'm assuming looking for a Stone of Binding now to keep an eye on that. But Canes here just doesn't want attack speed, decides, hey, I have Fail Not, let me go ahead and get Deathbringer. I'm a little surprised on this build. Manoa gets hit by the ultimate. Blawman takes down Marlins for the Divine. Manoa in trouble here. Double kill for Blawman. You have to stop the madness from the Thanatos. Blawman just going absolutely insane here. And now they have to decide where they want to go. Is it going to be left lane? Is it going to be mid lane? Seems like they're trying to hover around the left side walls here, looking for Ruthless and Canes. Ruthless running away. The chains off the mark. Canes now in trouble. Gonna have to go underwater. The no escape is used, but the only person that's not gonna be escaping should be Ruthless. Can Big Cat hit the taunt in? Does. And now Ruthless falls down. Kane's channeling the ultimate. Lands onto 7 Soul, but I don't think you really wanted it to land on them, if anything. Aegis is channeled. Marlins just got back up, and the man loses 97% of his health. Jesus, Big Cat puts down another. That's a double kill. This fight is just going absolutely the way of Dire Dragons. The only people that are in a dire circumstance are Buff Pass. And now it is a 4v1, as Kenny Alpha did take a spill to the tower there in that fight at the Phoenix, and this Phoenix should go in the way of Dire Dragons, but Marlins is just trying to survive and can't. Ruthless gets up and runs in, trying to save his teammate, isn't able to do so, and the mid bird's gonna go down here before 20 minutes dings on the clock. And now look at this. Manoa gets in. Ruthless will pick up a kill on the Kick Rocks. The Arachne ulting in defensively, but I don't know they know what's coming. They do, they back off, but it doesn't matter. An immortal for Blawman here, who's in the death from above and lands on the Manoa as they come down from the webs and says, goodbye, see you later. You're the one that can be mummified this time around. Holy. These fights are insane. Over almost an 8,500 gold lead here for Dire Dragons. Fire Giant hasn't even been pulled yet. And you have to start asking yourself, what is the way back into the game here for Buff Pass? They have to find a way to shut down Blawman. Blawman just being allowed to absolutely run this game on the Thanatos. If you're heading into game number 2 and you're thinking about picks and bans, that's a pick that has to go. I just don't see a way that you let this through a second time after this performance. 16-2-10. The Raijin 9-2-10. I mean, Kenny's 0-1-19 on the Charon. This pool Fire Giant, they're on gold. I don't know if you know it or not, but now's the time. And instead, they're going to back. They're going to choose not to pull it. Kick Rocks was very aware that they were on gold, and I guess they decided they just don't have enough damage without Kick Rocks there. I'm very surprised here. But Canes has decided to finally build some more attack speed. I'm assuming it's going to be an Exi, but it might be a Kins. We'll have to find out. Taking a look over at damage numbers, because Agni did decide to go to Party Punch this game. And, you know, we're seeing right now the damage deficit for Buff Pass here is pretty significant. And really, they just don't have a great way in right now. You have King Arthur, which is very single target CC, and the Ares has great AoE CC if you can get that no escape onto multiple targets. It's a great beads burn, but you need another way to burn, like once the beads burns down, another way to CC them and kill targets, especially the Thanatos. Comms have to be pretty on point to make sure he dies. Blawman up in the air, but Kenny goes ahead and ults, looking for that taunt in. Marlins is going to be the one they focus on. Beads, Aegis down, no escape now used. Blawman will go ahead and beads along with the rest of the team here, or use an ultimate like 7. And now it's a 5v4 at the right side bird. The Titans under attack for Buff Pass. Someone has to back and deal with it, and if there was a time to go for the Fire Giant, it is now. And 22 minutes into the game will be the first Fire Giant pull of the match. Will it fall? And if it does, who is it going to go to? Right now, Blawman making his way back in, was back there trying to zone a little bit. Gets a nice silence onto the King Arthur, but now you have the King Arthur. The front line is there for Buff Pass. Blawman in trouble here. Manoa looking for a way in. Blawman's gonna finally fall. The shutdown goes onto the King Arthur. The Kick Rocks is just shredding away damage. The Fire Giant is still pulled. Canes is attacking it. Buff Pass are gonna get the Fire Giant, but at what cost? You lose your jungler, you lose your support, and guess who's going down next? It's probably your solo laner, if I have to guess. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get out here. Instead, 7 goes in and gets the slow onto the Charybdis. Come crashing in as the Raijin from Big Cat here. And now Dire Dragons say, cool, guess what, guys? We're going to keep running it down. What do we want to do is the question. Kane's ults, it doesn't hit anybody. And now Dire Dragons decide, hey, we gave up that fire. Let's go ahead and just back off. Go ahead, grab the beacon, grab this farm. make sure we can back and get anything else that we need here. 7 still undying here on the Wukong. 3-0 and 7, doing a great job of just creating space with his team. Along with Kenny, these waves have just been very dominant of taunting in the enemy opponent. Has to feel really, really good. And a solid play there by Kane. Stays on the fire, goes ahead and picks it up. Just a heads-up move there by the carry of Bup Bup Pass. You're at a deficit, but when your carry can make the smart play, get Fire Giant away from the enemy, and you keep it on 3 players, that's pretty significant, especially when 2 of them are damage dealers. Feeling pretty good at this point. Kenny does pick up the Spectral to go ahead and deal with the crits coming through from this Charybdis. But builds are completing now. A little bit surprised to see Blawman sell the recipe here before being able to buy a full item. But when you're 16, 3, and 13, I feel like you can kind of do whatever you want. We do see across the board nothing too crazy. Ares, you know, picking up this Sovereignty and then going the Prophetic, which still isn't stacked. In fact, both supports sitting at 28 stacks on the Prophetic, and Marlins on this Tablet of Destinies at 37 stacks, still not stacked here. So, you know, our stacking items for those fellows are still working our ways there. Still working our ways there. This is what it is. Kenny comes in with a huge ult again, hitting 4. I mean, this is going to be huge here for Dire Dragons. They get the taunts in. This is a great way to get the fight initiated, and Blawman up in the air looking to crash down. They're going to let the King Arthur chill in the back line for the time being. Instead, that's where Blawman will crash down, and now the King Arthur ults the person I don't think he wanted to ult it, and now should fall down here. Goodbye! And that's one less tank to worry about. This should be the go button now for Dire Dragons. They don't have much else to worry about. They're going to go ahead and start chipping away more damage. Ruthless channeling the no escape, and this time people will do just that with their beads. Manoa will be escaping to the gray screen. Marlins in trouble here. Marlins will fall, and now Big Cat picks up that kill as well. Ruthless trying to get away, but at what cost? The cost is nothing as of right now. If Canes can live, Canes trying to fight with Blawman, but why? Get away. You are the last one remaining. Just eats a scythe, and this is problematic because you've already went underground, and now the Deicide has come through for the Dire Dragons, and all of that goes down as Kick Rocks is split pushing the left side of the map on this Phoenix. Gets it. Left side bird down for Bup Bup Pass. And now you're going to be able to push up the right side. You're going to be able to push up the mid lane. This just pushed everything open there. Great awareness and fight there by Dire Dragons. And I think a couple things have to change going to game number 2. You have to set up this Ares with a little bit of a better comp with CC around it. Obviously, I think Agni, I get it. Artillery has the dash. Doesn't have a great escapability into this current team. This Arachne is having a really rough time, though. Just not able to get into these fights and then out safely. So these are going to be things to watch about in these game 2 bans and picks. And Canes sells... okay, we got to talk about this, okay? Because everybody cooked, okay? Everybody bought recipes. Selling your recipe makes you 0 gold. Don't sell your recipe. Don't do it. There's a recipe slot right here that was golden gooseberries, which is going to give you a little extra DPS. You upgraded to Death Tempered, giving that nice damage increase. You have Kins. You keep this. Keep it. Stop doing it. If you can't buy the full item, keep the recipe. Just throwing it out there. If you can't build a full item, just keep the recipe. Kenny fighting 1v5 as Fire Giant spawns and then hits a 5-man ultimate and is still alive because care on things. Blawman crashes in, picks up Marlins. Manoa up in the ultimate trying to get away. Successfully does so for now, but Big Cat says, yeah, that's cool. Let me just chuck some damage your way as Ruthless channels the ultimate, but now is just left behind by his team. Manoa trying to confirm not only damage, but just a way out. Doesn't want to fall to 0-10 here. Kick Rock shows up, and now the King Arthur will take the spill, and this should be the end soon for Dire Dragons. They are going to decide, instead of Indian with a 5v3. They're going to go ahead and play the smart move here and go for Fire Giant. Now, Fire Giant is pulled here. Frenzy pops. Kenny has Frenzy. Just to let that sink in for everybody, because I didn't get a chance to pay attention to that because I'm chair 1-ing and chair 2-ing. But Kenny has Frenzy. And, that's big dubs. That's big dub here. You know what isn't big dubs, though, is the fact that Tablet of Destiny still isn't stacked. Prophetics just got stacked by those supports like a couple minutes ago, but, you know, this Tablet of Destiny is still sitting at 49 stacks. A little rough. A little bit of a sad time. But, you know, you win some, you lose some on that front. Win some, you lose some. Other than that, these builds looking pretty easy going here. Canes goes and picked up the tier 2. I'm going to assume it's going to be dominance, or that's what I'm going to hope it's going to be at this point. Again, I don't know, is getting rid of gooseberries for 20 physical power and 7 MP5 really that worth it? I think you just keep gooseberries. I don't see a reason to sell it. Now, if it's something for like tier 2 Odibo, right, where you're getting a little bit of attack speed and you're getting a passive off of it, then I understand getting rid of gooseberries. It makes sense. But getting rid of gooseberries or really just any of the recipes for nothing, like what was in this slot before then, because you don't get any gold for it, or like a tier 1 item with no passive or a tier 2 item with no passive, I don't think is worth it. If you're in a grouped up team fight, especially like gooseberries, that goes a long way. If you have Bountiful Bow where you're getting that cooldown reduction, I think that goes a long way here. This kind of food for thought watching through this game currently. Dire Dragons baiting a corner here. Not 100% sure why. Right now, I mean, I think they could just walk up the lane and take the fight. They're going to let the minions push up instead. Now they're tired of waiting because no one's going to step up. They want to sit back at their phoenixes. A good check, though, to see if they would step out. I get it. Just a little surprising that's the route we take. It's a 2-3 split right now. Agni raining down the damage on to kick rocks here. Manoa eats away 25% of the HP, though, just from standing there. And now Ruthless uses the ultimate just for Blawman. Oh, that is an interesting decision from the Ares to decide, hey, I want to go ahead and ult this Thanatos, and doesn't get anything for it. They're going to lose both Phoenixes here, and they're down a huge teamfight ultimate. There goes Big Cat with another kill. Marlins falls to Blawman, and this is going to be game at this point. Double kill for the Raijin. Are they going to get more is the question. Canes will be the next one to fall. They're going to go ahead and pull Titan. It's a deicide, and game number 1 goes over to Dire Dragons after a great team fight. And Kenny goes 0-1-30 freaking 3 on Charon. That's insane. Holy. Yeah, that was rough. I think there's several things. I think this is comp. Obviously, this is comp diff. I think this needed to be something else. I get the Charybdis for safety. I'm a Charybdis player. I still think, like, I still think an Artemis goes crazy here. I think an Artemis goes crazy with this comp. Unfortunately, Arachne just could not get going in any capacity. I think Ama is the play. Ama is the play here. But these stat lines are ridiculous. Absolutely insanity. Insanity. 40k damage was top damage that game. I really thought it was going to be actually much higher than that. 40k is a lot, but I for some reason, the way y'all were just like crushing fights, I was expecting like 60k damage. GG's, y'all. That was a good game. Gonna head into game number 2 in just a second. Mid laners keep telling me Tableau of Destiny is good now. Here's the deal. As a caster, I am going to keep harping on people that buy tablet Destinies. It is my job to hate tablet as a caster and a player, really. I hate tablet. But as a caster, I'm going to watch and see how many stacks you have. And the fact of the matter is this. You buy tablet Destinies, your first item out the gate, and you didn't stack it until the very end of the game at 31 minutes. I know how many abilities you're hitting because tablet tells me. So I'm not a huge fan of tablet here. I don't like this ADC build. There is nothing about this. I like the items in it. This order is rough. I think this is just a rough time. Yo, what's up, Deb? How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, to Ares pick, I kind of feel weird about, for sure. I mean, if you're getting, doesn't matter if it's stacked or not. I mean, true. But, like, I still think tablet sucks. The fact of the matter is this, like, you're hitting bombs, right? And, I mean, like, that was the top DPS of their team. So, like, damage was getting pumped out from the Agni. It wasn't like Agni was just sitting there doing nothing. Damage was getting put out. It's just the fact of, like, I just don't think it's tablet. And 0 wards here out of your jungle is unacceptable. I will say that every single time I see this. If someone on your team, if you were playing competitive Smite, hold on. Where am I? Un momento. Hold on. Let me. If you are playing competitive Smite and you have 0 wards on your team, and you're a competitive Smite player, I don't care what level you're at, you have 0 wards, shame on you. Buy wards. All right, that's my TED Talk. I messed up my whole camera size for that, but it was worth it, I feel like. All right, that's my TED Talk. Yeah. Zero wards is not okay. But let's head into game number 2. Game number 2. Let me go find the match ID real quick and look at that game. Arachne actually went 2-1 in SPL last week. And I can't even tell you the last time Arachne was like seriously played before that. But she's in a lot better place for sure. But I think you got a ward. You got a ward. You got a ward. By the way, for those new around here, just as a reminder, if you're new around here, I cast Smite regularly. If you would like me to cast your games, just reach out. You can shoot me match IDs. In fact, what Kenny did here, like Kenny, hold on. This is how Kenny like sent me the match ID. This is what I prefer. Like if you're DMing me match IDs, I don't want the screenshot of who won. Just send me the match ID. I mean, sending me the game helps, like how long the game is, because if I'm getting other casters to work with me, that's super sick. But like, just send me the match ID. Don't send me results of the game. I don't want to know who won or lost. But yeah, if you ever want games casted, feel free to reach out, and I will happily do my best to get those fit in for you. Obviously, if you contact me on like a Sunday night, like, yo, we're playing a game tomorrow, and the patch is Tuesday, that may or may not happen. I can't guarantee that, just because with my coaching and everything I do at work, I can't necessarily make that happen. But most of the time, I'll do my best, so just let me know. And yeah, just feel free to reach out. Yeah, Calamity, if you want to hop in, for sure, dude. That's fine. Let me hop down to live. I'll pull you. Yo. It's okay. I had to double. I was like, I unmuted my mic, right? I was like,
mic to make sure it's muted, right?
Yeah, well, my problem is like I got rid of voice meter. We talked about this earlier in chat.
Yeah, I did that actually the other day too. It was pissing me off. Always switching to like voice meter on accident or something. That was making me mad.
Mine was because I tried to stream Diablo and it was crashing my PC.
Oh, well, see, yeah, different issues.
But which is super sick. We love that. The new program I'm using is super sick though. I'm using a SteelSeries program called Sonar, and it filters out a bunch of stuff on the back end for you, and then it has like what you hear and what stream hears, and you just like click either one, like what you want stream to hear, what you want to hear. It's a lot more like straightforward than voice meter.
Having to like sift through like all the levels and stuff. Yeah, I didn't even want to deal with voice meter once.
Yeah,
like,
this is like if you look at stream right now, this is what it looks like.
Oh, it's pretty simple. Yeah,
it's like straightforward. I like it because like you can then choose how you route everything, like in the settings, and how much you want to set. But you can also like set your chat mix too, like if you want more game sound or more chat sound. Like it's all just like super straightforward. Yeah. It also has like a noise suppression tool that if someone's like next to you with a hair dryer, like it almost mutes it out.
By the way, how is my mic? Because I literally am next to my computer, is loud as fuck. Can you hear it that at all?
No, I don't hear it.
Okay, cool. Because I'm making sure my noise suppression on Discord's working as intended.
Yeah, no, noise suppression on Discord is slept on. Like because I use
pretty well, but
I use Discord
with it turning off and on. You know,
I use Discord for recording over Audacity, and it like cuts out a lot of the like stuff you'd hear picked up on Audacity.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, let's hop into game number 2.
I haven't done one of these in so long.
Oh, you're good, man. I was supposed to start I was supposed to start
stuff, you know.
That's fine. I was supposed to start a casting class over the summer, but I ended up being busy with so much other crap I didn't get to.
Yeah.
Oh, they switched sides. We like that. Buff Pass says we.
Are they gonna ban Thanatos, you think?
God, I hope so.
They have to, right? They have to.
I mean, you either You either ban Thanatos or you take Thanatos. I don't think you can leave that pick open. I don't think there's any shot.
I mean, like, yeah, he went off, but I think it's one of those things where I don't know if banning that character is going to matter that much, really. I'm sure he can play a ton of different things. Maybe not a ton, but at least a few different other things pretty well. And I mean, you know, he did really well that game, got an early lead. Actually, really wasn't like that big of an early lead. It was more like a mid game where he started to take off. But yeah, like he got out in front and he kind of just, you know, pedal to the metal, and the whole team kind of went behind him too. Like the mid duo seemed to kind of just run the show that last game.
Well, it's one of those things of like they banned Kali instead of banning Thanatos. So it's like they were worried about feast or famine. It was just the wrong feast or famine.
Chernobog, there's so many junglers to ban, right? It's like pick your poison, right?
I just realized that I have like one of the there we go. I didn't know I had bans on the right side.
I'm looking at your I should put the Discord.
Hey, I got the Discord stream up for you.
Yeah, no, I have it up. It's on my other monitor. I was looking at the stream. I have them both full screen, and that was I didn't even know which one I was.
Chernobog, Charon banned away here. I mean, Chernobog, pretty standard why he's banned away. Charon, after Kenny just got to sit there and eat 5 damage from 5 people and live. I think we know why. I need someone to explain this Freya ban to me because I just don't get it.
I was gonna ask you, what are like the top bans in like SPL right now? I haven't watched the SPL game in like I don't know, since last year really. So
Cherno, Apollo, Pele, Alma should be banned. Raijin should probably be banned. Athena. Okay. I mean, there's several.
Kind of a mix of what they have banned.
Yeah, Pele here. Pele can play solo jungle after the changes she got, so she's really, really good. Raijin with the cooldown change, like you just don't want to wet him through, so they take that away from themselves.
Wow, that's an interesting first pick. I'm gonna say that. That's
okay. The Freya ban's a personal team choice. That
makes sense.
While I appreciate that, I would make it beat me a game before I ban it.
I mean, I'm sure they've gotten absolutely slammed in scrims against Freya, you know, and they just don't want to deal with it. It's probably like something that happens, you know.
As someone that scrims them.
Did you slam them with Freya?
No. They banned Freya against me. I'm like, I don't play that god. I mean, I will, but like, I'm not playing that god in scrims.
I mean, I hate Freya to play against personally, but yeah, I understand. There's a lot of other picks that are probably take priority over that pick, you know.
Yeah. No shot that Kenny, I understand a DM Kenny sent me now from like earlier this week. Kenny DM'd me that Charon is the poor man's Geb.
He told me that I put in chat something about like he built like Fafnir, or the homie thinks he's Fafnir or something. Is there any like validity to that build with Charon? Like what's because I'm unfamiliar with Charon's,
so Charon A has wild attack speed.
Okay.
But like it doesn't do any damage, but like it's funny nonetheless. But Warflag's just really good right now, and then Shoguns for your when you have any type of auto attacker is good.
That's a Warflag kind of meta, right? Or it can be at least. For
Warflag's just not bad. Like Warflag's actually viable as a pickup.
That item hasn't been good in so long. I'm just so used to it being bad that it's like that's nice that it, came back a little bit.
Kuzenbo Horus locked in here, and I'm assuming. Originally I thought, okay, Alquan could flex, so there's that. But
I guess it could be Kuzenbo and solo lane too. It could be either of them, really. Probably at this level, it makes more sense. Kuzenbo is in the solo lane, just based on. I don't know if the solo laners like gold platinum can play Horus solo like as effectively as you need to be able to do it. To make it work. So
I just am confused because Amma is open.
Oh, is she good right now too?
She went 9-1 in SPL last weekend.
Oh, there you go.
How is this god not picked?
That's another character though. That's like there's a skill gap to playing them. Some people just don't have the god in their arsenal, right? Like I personally, I don't like Amaterasu. I don't like playing her that much. Like she can be good, and I just still wouldn't want to play her. Like that's. Just
but like I'm looking at Kuzenbo Horus, and Kuzenbo like I can see picked up from time to time. I'm really confused by Horus here, because while I like the idea of drop shipping down on somebody, I would much prefer not just single target AoE, which is what we currently have.
I'm really confused why they like locked in all of their melee, like their front line first. They don't have any of their backline pick. There'd be priority picks in the backline they'd want to lock down over Horus, Kuzenbo, Ao Kuang, like all three of those probably.
Yeah, I think like
anyone's fighting over those,
Apollo would be a great pick here. Apollo's really, really good right now after some changes. I do like the Set pickup here because Set can flex here. Set can go to literally any role, and I think it's a good pick. I'm also just a Set believer, so there's that.
He's just super strong if you're good at that character, and he's really annoying to deal with. He's like Kali. He's just so slippery, hard to kill. Like he does a ton of damage. Like. He's just really annoying to fight, and now that they have the Geb on their team too, like it's gonna make it a lot easier for Set to just get in there and like do whatever he wants, right?
Well, not only that, like we finally get to see him back in comp after he's been banned for like 2.5 months because of a bug. So like
gotcha. Okay,
he could double teleport, which was a problem, obviously.
I can see that being a very issue.
Yeah, but we are going to see the Yu Huang Toth Band Array here, which I think are, get rid of the artillery mages if that's something you're worried about dealing with, which especially into a Set, you don't want to deal with those. And on the other side, we get the Hebwa ban, and then they do finally get rid of the Thanatos. They say, we're not seeing that again.
I would like to see them pick up the Hebo, honestly, for themselves, because you're dealing with a Set, you want something that can at least like try and either fight him or get away from him. And like I think Hebo would have been a pretty good pick for that. Even I guess Yuhong, but Danzaburo.
No way, it's Artemis, right?
Please,
okay,
I was
gonna say, as much as I love Danzaburo, I am that guy.
Yeah.
Not with this comp.
Yeah, there's no way.
Marlon's going with another movement ability. I mean, like Agni has dash.
If they have Artemis Raw as their backline, I'm just gonna say it. Like, there's no way.
Okay, Merlin's okay. Merlin's okay here. I mean, the flicker.
Better, but
Flicker's good.
If he's good, he can deal with Set. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to deal with Set in general. Merlin's a good pick, but I don't know.
Artemis is good for Tusky. As long as Tusky wants to attack targets, I think it's okay. But Tusky sometimes does Tusky things, and goes off to the middle of nowhere, or just doesn't chase people at all. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I do like the Scylla.
Scylla's good for what is Direwolf's red, right? And then Blue is...
Yeah, Dire Dragons is red. Buff Up Pass is blue.
I mean, like, I like red. Like, I like Direwolf's draft quite a bit so far. I think they need maybe like more of a facilitator type hunter for the mid game, and I think they'll be pretty set. They have three really good late game picks.
Yeah, I think
feels that right there, you know,
yeah,
for sure. But yeah, then you have Buff Puff Pass. I'm just worried about them getting stomped in the early game. They have like absolutely no pressure anywhere in the early game, really, except maybe solo lane if that's Kuzumbo over there. And even still, he's fighting Wukong, so it's going to be like a draw, you know, pretty much anyway, right?
I'm
so
concerned
I don't know what's going to happen
for Canes because of the build that we saw last game with the Charybdis. Where like there's a build right now on Artemis where you could go Death Toll into Death's Embrace, and if you get Silver Branch, Malicious Deathbringer, Fail Not, Transcendence, you have like stupid amount of cooldown, and you have just it's just crazy. I haven't seen Izanami in a while, but I do like Izanami, so I think that will be fine.
I think for this specific comp, I think she fits the bill pretty head on for what I was looking for. Kind of an early to mid game character where they can bridge the gap because they have a lot of late game on their side of the Dire Dragon or the Dire. I almost said
Dire Dragons. Yeah.
Dire Dragons. That's gonna mess me up. But so they needed something with a little bit of pressure, especially with the Geb lane. You want something that offsets that quite a bit. And Izanami, the best early game hunter possibly in the game, probably the best to deal with that. So I think they have a pretty strong draft. I don't know if Blahman's going to get off to an electric start like he did last game on the set. It's probably going to take him a little bit longer. But the same for Manoa. Like, he's playing Ao Kwong. It's not like he's going to be doing anything 10 minutes anyway, really. So
yeah, I think the problem for Buff Up Pass is they have a very late game comp. Like, a very late game across the board.
Yeah.
Where you want something that's at least, you want 2-year characters to at least be, like, mid-game oriented. But I look at Ao Kwong, like, he starts ramping at mid-game. I look at Merlin, starts ramping at mid-late game. I look at Horus, that's kind of, does better. I guess Horus can kind of do well early. Kuzumbo solo, I just worry across the board there. Artemis, I promise you, is not an early. I mean, like, if you get a lead...
Wait, Bluestone Artemis? Wait a minute.
Oh, there's... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Is he going to go a one-shot Artemis build? Is that what he's
doing? It's... So yeah, this is the ability Artemis build that came up in SPL last week.
Somebody did,
and
of course.
And fun fact, for those that want to know, the build's bad.
Yeah, I can definitely confirm the build is not great. I've done that before in the past. It's you're not flicking autos on Artemis, you're not really playing the character. Unless you're one-shotting somebody with Tusky and a trap, you're just kind of not doing...
Well, they're like, oh, you get 40% cooldown. You know what also gets you 40% cooldown? Actually, better than 40% cooldown? The build I said earlier. Death's Embrace, Transcendence, Fail Not, Silver Branch, Kins, Malicious Deathbringer. Malicious Deathbringer, Death's Embrace, you're literally critting, gives you cooldown, autos give you cooldown. I mean, it's dumb.
Yeah, it's an overall way better build. And yeah, I don't know. The problem with their game last game was they got absolutely slammed in the early to mid game part of the game. And I mean, to be fair, they weren't down that much gold. They were down a lot of kills, but they somehow were like keeping up in gold for a while. Yeah, they were just getting killed left and right, positioning pretty poorly. So like, I don't know why they went with a late game oriented draft when they were getting absolutely obliterated early on,
Yeah, well, and the problem they had, in my opinion, was like, your ADC didn't go attack speed early on, which is something you definitely want.
Yeah.
They are going to get aggressive here on the kick rocks, which this is something Horus does do well. Horus can isolate a target, and with Artemis traps, that could be very punishable. But I am not so sure how it's going to pan out here, as over in the mid lane, the 2v2 will happen, and I think right now this should just be kind of stalemated, if anything.
Yeah, probably not a whole lot of fighting here in the mid. Really going to be for quite a while, I would imagine, unless somebody's egregiously out of position. Yeah, kick rocks. Didn't even hit level 2 there in lane, so yeah, he had to back up quite a ways. They actually got a lot of poke on him here, so he's going to have to use quite a few potions to stay in this lane. But he is Izanami, so should have no problem really sustaining in this lane and out clearing eventually. Might be a little bit tough though with the Horus in his face. Kev has to be on point with the shields, so see if Kenny's able to do that or not.
I'm a little curious. Oh my god.
Oh, just happened.
Did they go for...
I was instantly wrong. Well, okay, I don't know what just happened, but yeah, that was...
Okay. I guess they just noticed that they were low, and they were like, oh, we caught him out of position. That's actually crazy. Yeah, so this Horus is going to be annoying. That's what Horus does really, really well early game. Now, if luckily for, you know, Dire Dragon's, Horus didn't go Bluestone, because then he probably would have killed Kick Rocks early on, as Blobman has made the rotation here just to relieve some pressure. And now you have Ruthless and Canes backing up. I really don't understand what went wrong for them not to hit level 2. I mean, like, you just walked a lane and you auto 3 times, and you should hit level 2 for Kick Rocks there. So I don't know what went wrong.
I think it's just the Geb, really, the Horus versus Geb thing. Because you would think, right, Izanami was going to out-clear Artemis to lane. But
yeah,
just the fact that you have the Horus versus the Geb, I think was such a diff, like a diff right there in clear speed that they got there. And they probably missed some minions or something. They had to have, right? They had to have missed like at least 1 maybe, and they just didn't hit 2.
I wonder if it was this Bluestone diff. I mean, that literally could be what it was. Is this like just getting that 3 off early, and it just ticked down the minions enough?
I don't know if it's that much damage of 1 ability of Artemis 3 for Bluestone, but yeah, I guess it could have been. This is just interesting regardless, but yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that rotation. Hold that thought. Oh, nothing gonna come out of there. Nice shield coming out from Kenny. No beads expended. Down anyway, but yeah, I didn't like that rotation really from the set coming there. I don't think he has a ton of like kill pressure there with a couple abilities, level 3. You know, a little pressure relieved, I guess, just to see if something was there. But yeah, a little bit of a wasted opportunity, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, I think he stepped up, wants to go ahead and like relieve a little bit of pressure, and then go, hey, let's go back and pick up the shield buff. Was kind of the plan there.
Yeah, I guess I get shield out of that.
But he could have just went shield buff. And then
sold it and just I would have probably just said see you later.
I mean, like, drop the shield buff, and then, like, if they're still pushed up, then you just all in.
Yeah, but, or at least bait a little bit longer, you know, like you kind of just like walked up to him. Maybe a purple buff invade though. Hold that thought. Yeah. They're fighting. Looks like he's gonna be okay.
Oh, Blink from Manoa comes out and isn't able to confirm much else. That's gonna be huge here. That's a free relic.
Yeah, off screen too. We got set. Lawman invading purple buff.
Got it too.
He's gonna drop it for him. Yep. And that'll be another net lead for him going up on his counterpart. But he's running into trouble here. 1v1 fight in the jungle. He is set, so he should be able to get away. But Merlin's here too. He's in XP threshold.
No way.
Scylla coming in for the save, but Scylla 1 HP as well. They're both dashing away low.
Look at Kenny. Like Kenny rotating in.
Yeah. Do have a rocket ship coming in. Looks like that'll be the end of it though. Close from both sides there, but not enough damage really from either of the teams this early on, you know, with the late game builds, right? Late game jungle picks. Yeah,
and I was gonna say the big thing here is Set's now level 5. And that's when you have to start worrying, because if he goes into Kingslayer right there, he's gonna kill his target. Like, that man's gonna die. And now even Manoa's coming back in trying to find a kill here, and it's just not gonna be found. Big Cat now seeing, hey, can we get the CC? Can we get the crush off? Manoa now 50% health. But look at this, the bat camps. Kate Rocks is just getting ran at by Canes, almost dies. Yeah, ends up getting to live.
Starting to hurt. Yeah, that was an interesting decision by Ruthless. He Horus salts in, he sees a bunch of low HP targets there, and he wants to finish them off, but he just is unable to do so. And you know, Dire Dragons, they have all their ultimates still, and they're just all on top of each other, able to follow up off the Gebalt there, and they just insta kill him from basically full health there. I didn't really like that decision to go in that late by himself there, and he's gonna get killed for it. So yeah, just poor decision making from the support.
I had to think it was probably just like a comms issue there, where they thought, oh hey, you know, Manoa's here. They'll go back in with us. Hold on a second. Now Blawman going in onto Canes here.
Ooh,
nice trap. I mean, literally just says, nah, I'm just going to stop that. I really wonder if Ruthless thought Manoa was going to stay there when it came down, and just hope to proc off some damage. That wasn't the case, though. And now Ruthless putting on a clinic here with the Horus still. Gets a nice little CC, beats out. There's Manoa now making the rotation in. Blawman could be in trouble. Able to the little dash away. Kick Rocks. Still has the horrific going on him. Nice usage there. I don't know if you had to use it, but it definitely slowed them down and made them think. about staying there. Purple buff is spawning here. And this could be an opportunity for Buff Pass to invade.
And he is here now, though, finally, so should go to kick rocks for free here. No, probably a little too late to get there, but it looks like he's looking for it. I don't think he's going to be able to get there in time. Yeah, kick rocks all the way back in between his T1, T2 is going to secure that purple buff. And yeah, that fight overall kind of just, you know, a wash. Just seeing what they're, seeing how much damage they're doing so far, seeing who's baiting who, right?
Yep.
Who's baiting whom.
And right now, I mean, this Artemis has a 2,000 damage over everybody else in the map. The next highest. That has to feel pretty good. This Transcendence now stacking. Once that gets stacked, this Artemis is gonna hurt. But again, I'm not a huge fan of ability Artemis, and so we'll have to see how that pans out.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get kills early to make it worth it. Merlin, not in a great spot, but I guess all abilities on cooldown right now, so he'll be okay for now. But yeah, I agree. He needs to fight early and often if he's gonna go this Transcendence build. Blink in from Outclog. Kick Rocks is dead on the other side of the map, though. Nice gank coming out there. Kenny making his presence felt. Lawman looking for more, but Noah has to back off. Ooh, Skewer barely off the mark there. They're gonna squeak by, but Lawman's looking for more. I don't know if he's going to find it. I'll take the back camps instead.
So he's going to find farm. Is a little bit behind here. Going to check the speed, find out it's not there, but does get the timer, which is always a positive. I was actually looking at Merlin thinking Blawman's behind. Blawman has a lead here, which I was like, if you're at the back camps, I mean, he has been farming. He has to be getting pretty close.
There's nothing worse than your jungler just being on time for your buffs, and there's nothing you can do about it. That is the worst feeling.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a backline player that needs the farm to be able to live, and that's a real feels bad when all your stuff's gone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, blue buff being looked at here, and Blawman, I think, is just gonna wait.
Yeah, I think he knows it's coming up, so he's just waiting for it to spawn here. Horace looking for a little bit premature with the Geb shield, but nice thought from Kenny there. Looks like Ruthless wasn't gonna pull the trigger there, maybe just baiting it.
They are gonna look for this Kuzenbo this time around, and Kuzenbo is a little bit of a hard target to kind of get a gank on like this. Pushes him into the tower here. Skewer getting off some good damage. Ooh. Is it gonna be enough? Here comes the somersault in? Maybe? Oh, it's off the mark. No way. Kuzenbo, what is happening? Okay, finally. I was about to be like, there's no way this man lives through that, just turtling around.
Yeah, he didn't have his ult that whole time, so he just kind of had to bob and weave and hope that everybody was going to miss there. And they were for a little bit. He was getting some lucky RNG his way as Ruthless takes a third tower shot. Almost dies there to the tower dive. But yeah, no, George looks like he's out of the picture.
Oh, no.
Now an Artemis trap.
Yep.
Coming through the Beats Force too, and he gets the kill. That's a huge W for Canes right there.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the Tusky hit, I was like, oh, he's dead. And that's one of those things where, like, you react by hitting beads, and you immediately are upset that you wasted the relic. Because you know, like, it was just one of those things, like, you were trying to react in time, and then the auto just clicks, and you're like, oh, that's cool. Lawman does get the steal there on that purple buff, which is going to feel pretty good. And now they're going to get this mid camp as well as Stygian Beacon will be spawning in 2 minutes. Let's see what the fight looks like around that this time around.
It feels pretty bad. He just got a kill and left. He's 2 levels up, and he still gets his purple buff invaded there. It's not going to matter too much. He's low and left, though. Kane's low, gets the shield. He's going to get away. Shield buff helping him out a little bit there, but yeah. Tall over there, and yeah, he was ahead last game too, a couple level and a half over Kick Rocks too. So maybe, you know, if he could you know, change his build a little bit to what we were suggesting beforehand, maybe he'll be a little bit more impactful later. I'm worried he's going to fall off pretty rapidly here. He's going for Jotuns though, unfortunately. So we'll see how that pans out for him.
And arguably one of the worst ability items in the game, unfortunately. Like yeah, you get the cooldown. But, like, unfortunately, the glyphs on that item just suck. Like, you want that item, like, you want the glyphs to be good, but they're just not.
Solo.
Yeah, another gank onto the Kuzenbo. It's not going to get this far away this time, as the slamming down the cudgel on top of the head, making sure the Kuzenbo doesn't get away this time around. They didn't want to have to play a monkey in the middle with the tower that time.
Yeah, he was a little bit closer to his tower last time. This time, he was quite a bit further up in the lane when they went over there. I was looking at the mini-map. before it happened.
I like this
So
positioning by Ruthless. Oh,
able to
no.
get away. Yeah, nice dash, though. Didn't want to tower dive it. Noah's here, though. I think they definitely could if they wanted to. Looks like they're going to back off, though. Respect it now.
Yeah, 20 seconds till beacon. I think right now you just try to make sure everybody's around for that fight. 14 stacks on a Tablet of Destinies, my least favorite item in the game.
Say something about that.
Yep.
To be fair, that's not that bad for 10 minutes. I'm sure he just got it built like a couple minutes ago, you know. So I don't think he's doing bad on that. But yeah, I would like to see him have more stacks, or at least finish the item this game. Hopefully, you know, that's the goal, right?
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. I think it's way easier to stack on Merlin than it is on Aggie.
Yep.
So there is that. Does he get him? No. He sprints. What a man.
Wait, Merlin has sprint. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Merlin sprint. Yeah, you heard me right. Merlin sprint, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate it against Set.
Oh, I don't either.
Slow you and sprint it.
Yep.
But, yeah,
you just don't see it.
That's interesting. I mean, if he gets hit by a Scylla ability, he's dead. But you know, maybe he'll live against Set a little bit longer now. I don't know.
Oh, Blawman goes in. 1v3. Great Geb shield here by Kenny, but it's not enough to save the life of the Set there. Canes will barely live.
Kane's off to a hot start so far. He's going to need to keep this momentum up if they're going to have any chance later. And I mean, to be fair, you know, they did draft a super late game comp as Scylla off the mark with the ult. Merlin's going to live with 1 HP. Noah gets juked out though. Scylla is out of here. Both meds are going to survive for now, but yeah, the late game comp is going to need to come out. They're going to need to be able to survive, and Canes is doing a good job of keeping them on the forefront.
Yeah, but they're going to have to worry about a late game Scylla. I didn't talk about this during picks and bans, but this is one of Big Cat's best gods. And, you know, there's nothing like getting hit for when you're a carry, a crush that hits you for 1100.
So I hate getting hit by crush as a tank. That's like that's like a third of my health gone.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's tough.
So that's something that's going to be able to watch out for here. Already has 20% pin online with the Karen's coin. What a great route on the Marlins there. Max range hits the Merlin. Feels pretty good. And Canes does...
Maybe? Kick rocks for the fight. Nope. Instant beats coming out from his... Oh, he dashes in. Oh my god. Noah gets a kill off screen. Canes is 1 HP. This carry fight is taking forever.
Kick rocks, dude. Oh, come on. I wanted Kick rocks just to come down here and just dash over the tower, kill, and then die to the tower.
Yeah, I hate when there's multiple fights going on. You can't watch them both at the same time. That always sucks. But it's like beats from Izanami were used for the Artemis also. Good win from Canes there. Actually, he used his Aegis, so maybe. Oh, well, I don't know. Both relicless for a while.
I mean, the good news is for Dire Dragons is that Canes doesn't have Blink. I played against a Blink Artemis yesterday, and they were just like blinking over purple buff wall. And there's nothing more frustrating than you're like, oh, cool, let me get Bastion, and then you're dead.
Yeah,
Big Cat does go into ult.
Teammates are here. Noah's looking like he wants more. Nice ult. Gonna hit Merlin. Horse is in the air, landing down, but Noah's gonna be dead to rights here. Blawman gets credit for that one. Looks like Ruthless is in an awkward spot. He's gonna try and 3 out. He gets away for now. Still looking for the follow-up. Not quite able to connect. Nice 1 for 0 there. And Big Cat, yeah, no, he's swinging away.
Yeah. I mean, we said Artemis was up like 2,000 gold earlier. I mean, Artemis is still at the top of those charts, but this is slowly trickling up here towards that Artemis damage.
Yeah, and the later this game goes, I mean, they both have ridiculously like late game characters.
That was a really good play there by Blawman. Does the blink, then the dash, so that way you don't necessarily get to hear it for the audio cue. Really good play there.
He beats this too, gets the kill clean. Forrest gonna try and save purple, unable to do so. And yeah, that's like I want to say that's like the 5th purple buff I've seen Canes lose, which is crazy to me. That he's 3-1 and has lost like more than half his purples, which.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy time. But look at this position here. 4 in the mid lane, 4 buff pass. And I'm like, are they going to go for the Pyro here? And it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They have to worry about Big Cat too much. I think they're just looking to say, hey, could we pick something off? And the answer is no. But
I was just so unbothered by that Horus just casually walking.
Yeah.
See that? He just did not care. I mean, Merlin was low on mana. You know, not a ton of follow-up probably there anyway. But yeah, like he's just unamused. He didn't care.
Here's the thing. If that's me, I die there. Because the Merlin's like, nah, I believe, and then I just die for some unknown reason. But now Dire Dragon's turning around. They decide to bring forward to the mid lane, and Ruthless is just getting ran at. The W key of the Wukong is strong in this one, and Blobman dives in. Looks like he's gonna go for Ruthless. Gets the beads off of Marlins. The tower's gone, and Beacon is up. This is a great position here by Dire Dragons. Gets some relics, but also gets a great positioning for this. But now up in the air goes Ruthless and come crashing down. No one comes with them. Cataclysm by Kenny off the mark, baits out an ultimate, and that's just a big W there for Buff Pass. Unfortunately, they lose the beacon, which is an L that they didn't want to take. And this time, Gold Fury will be pulled here by Dire Dragons. They're going to force them up to fight for it.
Isabeau. Back out of solo lane, got a big back there. Nice purchase as a Prid win. They have numbers here.
Oh no,
they're gonna be able to fight. Marlins takes down Blawman. Gold Fury goes to the Dire Dragons though. Wukong up in the air. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get out of here or not, but we'll see.
Merlin sprint.
CC'd.
Kenny could be in trouble here if Canes decides to continue the chase down. And now that I think about it, okay, I didn't say this earlier, and I should have thought about it. I wonder if the reason Canes decided to go this. Oh my God! 7 gets the lockdown to Marlin. Oh my God!
Nasty.
The root hits all 3 members that were there. Cat going crazy on the Scylla here. It was a 4v5, and I promise you, if anybody thought all 3 of them were gonna get stunned there, I think they could have just W keyed and killed all 5 of them. That could have been a DS side.
Could have been all of them dead. Yeah, you're right, and you know probably not a whole lot of
wild.
abilities left. Yeah, no, that was perfect setup for something there. But you know, Dire Dragons, they get the Gold Fury, they get the Stygian, right?
Yeah.
They only lose 1 member, so
they're 6K gold up. Well, 5.5K gold up. I mean, that's pretty significant here. Blobman, Marlin's gonna fall here. There's just nothing they can do. Manoa trying to make a play here on the Ao Kuang. Ruthless going in behind, and the Scylla crush root goes off. 7 Soul picks up Manoa, and great body block there by Kenny. Goodbye, Ruthless. Exactly what Dire Dragons are being right now as they head over to the Pyromancer.
Buff Pass are doing right now? They're flailing. They're flailing.
Yeah,
they just lost a huge fight. They lost a bunch of objectives. They saw low HP bars, and they're making some Hail Mary play to try and kill the Scylla, and it's Ruthless every time by himself. Horus ults again, try and get something done. I don't know, like, if he's getting I don't think he's getting miscomms from his teammates. I think he's
there's no shot,
because that's like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen him do that by himself.
I was surprised by the one at Beacon, because I thought if they all went in there, I think that could have been huge. But it also didn't land on anybody. So it's like hit or miss there, where like you need the Horus ult to hit somebody.
He just needs to communicate with his team. It seems like he's just like pressing buttons and like not talking. Because like every time I've seen him go in, like no teammates are nearby to like follow up off him. If anything, they're retreating, they're running away, and he's still going in trying to get kills. But his build, he's not building damage. He's full tank Horus. He is not doing any damage. He's doing his base numbers, and that is it. And we're well past the early game now, so he's not going to be able to kill anyone anymore at this point. So he needs to stop solo diving by himself and communicate with his teammates, preferably, you know, his Kuzenbo, his Ao Kuang, somebody to help kill their backline, because they're getting slowly torn apart right now.
Flicker comes through at the right time there. But now Ruthless getting a little bit active here on to 7. 7 eats a good bit of damage there from Canes and Marlins. Something I was going to talk about earlier that I thought about after we've gotten into the game is I wonder if the reason for Canes' build being more ability-based is because of the Geb. I wonder if it was just like, hey, there's anti-crit here, do I just go this instead? I just don't know if I like it. We'll have to see how it continues to pan out. 3-1-1, can't be too mad about it currently. But right now, the positioning by Dire Dragons is very interesting because their carries are positioned just back there with the front line of Buff Pass. But Kenny goes in on Canes and half helps him with the Cataclysm rollout. Oh my god. Blahman picks up the kill on to Manoa, still alive. Now they're looking for Canes. Canes is low health. Marlins is low health as well. Here comes the Cloud. Who is it going to come crashing down on? George falls. So does... Oh my goodness, Canes is gone as well. Marlins not far behind here. Crush comes through onto Ruthless. A great shockwave. Kick Rocks picks up a kill. Ruthless falls down a well, and there goes the Deicide. And all 5 members of Dire Dragons are up. They don't even have a wave with them, and they're going to take this Phoenix. There is an Oni. It could be.
They have a wave coming. They're not going to risk it, it looks like.
No.
But yeah, that
you know what's crazy? There is an Oni Fury up that I think 3 of them could have ran to, killed, and then met the other 2 at fire afterwards.
I mean, I don't mind the play to reset there, to be honest.
I don't either. I just think, like, your ADC, your mid, and someone else was full health there. I think you get Oni Fury, and it forces them, like, if you're going to step up to fire, you're going to lose possibly a tower, at least.
They had time to do that. We're so early into the game, their death time is pretty short still. It would have taken them a long time to do both of those. But
Kenny's 0-7. 7 Souls 5-0-4. Big Cat's 1-0-6.
Yeah, not a whole lot of dying going on for Dire Dragons. It seems like it's literally just Blahman dying to towers and some other damage.
Yeah,
not a whole lot of death for Dire Dragons.
It's crazy.
Literally. Just kind of just out front comfortably the whole game. Other than Kane making some good plays in dual lane, yeah, it hasn't really been a whole lot of resistance so far. Really, both games, honestly. So
Ruthless started Oni Fury there. Kane says, "Nah, I want the shield buff." And now all 5 members, Dire Dragons, running it down to the left lane. Ruthless has been spotted out, and now they know where 7's at. Steps on a trap in the jungle. And it's not going to matter. Dire Dragons are going to pick up this Oni Fury now for free 99. And they should look for a left side tier 1 tower as well before doing any backs. And that's exactly what they're going to look at here. They're going to look for a tier 1. And I think they're probably going to push for a tier 2. They have a wave with them.
I imagine they're going for Phoenix.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, I could see them backing if they decide they want to buy. But you're almost
before they did fire though.
Yeah,
so I'd imagine they spent quite a bit already. So
I was gonna say you're almost 12k gold up. You have to int.
Yeah, and I think they have more than enough items to do so. Yeah, seven's old. Like, I don't think anybody can kill that guy at this point. Like, he's level 20. He's like a raid boss. Like Merlin's tickling him at this point. So.
And I really like the Mana Core spikes pick up here for the Wukong. I just think it goes really hard. Oh my god.
No, what are you doing? That's a whole team, buddy. He's gonna get a race there. Decent damage though, Blahman.
Kenny throws the shield, saves Blahman's life. I'm pretty sure a Kappa would have ended his death. Would have killed him there. Great Cataclysm as well. Kenny kind of going crazy here.
Yeah, nice damage. Gets the beads out of Merlin, especially. That's huge
right
there. Kenny 1 HP. Kane's looking for the kill, but he's gonna get captured. He's gonna get taken down. Kenny lives. Horus is in the air, but I think it's just too little too late here.
He didn't know where he was at.
Marlins, really.
He didn't know where he was. Ruthless could have killed Kenny. He didn't know where he was.
Oh, that's
no
tragic.
shot, dude. This is crazy.
That was a nice play by Ken right there, getting a set of beads on Merlin. Triple ult there, setting up his team for another tower.
Oh, they have Titan pushing down right side.
Yeah. If anything else could go wrong for both fast, yeah, it's looking pretty dire. No pun intended. But yeah, we'll see if they can handle this 4v5. Really 4v6 with the minion Titan coming down. But I don't even know if they have enough damage to kill this with the carry being dead. Merlin's gonna have to go massive here. 10 souls clicking in.
They're trying to disrupt it with that Kuzumbo ult, but look where Blahman's positioning. He's fighting the backline, he's fighting the carries. The Phoenix is going to fall here, and now it's Dire Dragon. 7 is finally low, could possibly fall here, but no. Kane's going crazy here, decides to beads and then go in with the ultimate. Tusky trying to do something, but he should die. Beads, Aegis are used. Can he get back to spawn? The answer is yes, but at what cost? The cost of his life, because the I'm a monster comes through and puts him into the ground, and now it's Ruthless going towards the back line. It's a double kill for Big Cat. Big Cat gets out, but might come back and look for more in a second. There is the route onto Ruthless. They have to fight. Shockwave great here. Can Kenny save the life of the Scylla? Yes, they can. Big Cat somehow still alive. Finally falls down to George here, but now it's going to be fire minions pouring into the base slowly but surely as Blawman picks up Marlins. This fight scattered. The tanks running for their lives say we did all the peel that we could, and Dire Dragons just said, cool, we got 2 Phoenixes, we have fire giants or fire minions pouring in, we can go back, pick up a pyro and some camps, we're good to go.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna run it down to the end after they got that kill, but they showed more restraint, and that was the right call, looking at the timers. But yeah, what a fight. Honestly, a really good ult from Horus there. Finally, the whole team decided to follow up with him, and you know, better late than never, they got the kill. But yeah, like they had already lost a couple members before that even happened. So yeah, and honestly, that was probably the best showing we've seen out of Buff Pass on defense so far, really. Yeah. Artemis was able to get a ton of damage off. Merlin lived for quite a while and got a lot of his damage off beforehand. And, you know, you saw, I was joking earlier about Seven Soul not being able to die. Well, he got pretty low before he had to ult in the air there, pretty early too. So I think that was a huge part of why that fight went so well for them. And, you know, they're just going to have to, you know, do that a couple more times basically before this game ends, because I don't think they can really leave their base at this point.
I will say I am surprised that Blawman decided to go Spear instead of Hammer, but also has Soul Eater and Bloodforge. This set is hard to kill.
Serrated too, yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, yeah. The lifesteal is strong in that one. It looks like they're looking to see if they could pull the Gold Fury over there for Buff Pass, and then Blawman showed face in mid, and they decided they no longer could. The rest of the team overdoing Fire Giant here 28 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I think the only person that should be splitting would be like either Canes or Manoa, just getting some farm. But yeah, especially Manoa, he's not even 20 yet. But yeah, at this point, there's not a whole lot they can do except just sit in their Titan room and defend with Phoenix as best they can. But Marlins, he's caught in no man's land. Blawman's gonna take the kill, and he's fast boy. He's got his ult popped. No one's gonna outrun me, he says. I don't care about your sprint horse.
This is a time, dude. Holy.
He's gonna fall as well. That might be it here, Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, you have fire minions popping in, Fire Giant buff on the Dire Dragons. It's a 5v3. The damage is pouring in on the Titan. Almost 50%. They're trying to chunk away at a couple more kills. They need to focus on the objective here instead of messing around. The Tusky is going crazy in the back line. And 7 finally falls down here right at the end of the game.
Gets the return, but yeah.
Game 2 goes over to the Dire Dragons.
Wow.
And you can't let Kenny do this. This is criminal. You can't let Kenny go undying.
Oh, did he not die the first? I thought he died the first game once.
No, but this game he went 0-0-13. You can't have that. You can't give him that confidence. No, that doesn't matter, dude. You can't give Kenny this type of confidence.
I can't believe 7 got pushed in the fountain there. That was funny.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it too. I knew he was gonna like line it up. I was wondering.
I mean,
yeah, I know you went on dying both games, man. You were doing really well. Sucks.